Hello everyone, Wellstarbursts here, and welcome to the first episode of my Minecraft building tutorial series, Creative Mode. If you don't already know about this series, I will be explaining the elements and principles of design such as shape, color, contrast, and the like, and how they can relate to building in Minecraft. Oh, and I'm using the Wellstarbursts Halcyon texture pack throughout the series. And at specified times, I will also use the Wellstarbursts Organics texture pack. Today, we will cover the two most basic elements, lines and shapes. Lines and shapes are used in every build and can help improve any build. For example, various shapes compose a foundation of a build, and lines are necessary for creating different types of shapes. First, we will review lines, and then take a look at some builds that use them effectively. There are two major varieties of line, static and dynamic. First, there are dynamic or moving lines. This type of line is used mostly in organic or natural builds. The reason for this is because you almost never see perfectly straight or calculated lines in nature. A great example of dynamic lines that seem to move are illustrated in Soul Soda's flower stems at the spawn of the Wellstarbursts. The flowers look much more natural and almost have a sort of motion to them because of the dynamic quality of the stems. On the other hand, static lines are for the most part straight, but can still have a slight, calculated curvature to them. For example, this dam built by Jomega in Clifton uses a static line at its rim. The line isn't straight, but it's a calculated curve. Such lines that are calculated qualify as static. Connecting lines such as these to enclose a space creates a shape, one use of which is a foundation of a building. Shapes also have two major varieties and also have two subsets. Static shapes are a lot like static lines and seem unmoving. These shapes usually have sharp and defined vertices. Static shapes are mainly used in more realistic builds, like Wellstarbursts. You'll notice that Wellstarbursts is star-shaped, but also notice that the star is made up of static lines. Static shapes are made with their corresponding variety of lines most of the time. A special quality of static shapes is that they don't seem to move, and therefore give off a sense of strength and impenetrability. A good example of this comes from Razorcane's mansion in Ithia. Because he's trying to build with realism in mind, he uses many static shapes, and so the building seems to have lots of structural integrity. Notice the triangular and quadrilateral cobblestone roof pieces. The definition in the vertices of static shapes also helps convey the sense of strength. Take a closer look at how Razorcane uses static shapes to create the walls of his mansion. A subset of static shapes are geometric shapes. These shapes consist of easily identifiable shapes such as circles, rectangles, and triangles. For the most part, you will want to stay away from using this kind of shape as the main part of your build. Such easily identifiable shapes make a build very easy to figure out, and therefore boring to look at. If you are to use these shapes, make sure that they are not very prevalent throughout your build. Now, just as static lines have their corresponding shape, when dynamic lines connect back around to create an enclosed area, they create either an organic or a dynamic shape. Organic shapes look natural, but don't have to look like they're moving necessarily. The movement of a shape is judged by how you arrange the lines that make that shape. For example, Spectre Cody's shrine at Lake Mistvale uses many organic shapes within it, though it still maintains a static look to it because the building still looks like it can support itself. On the other hand, the dragon back at the Talmor spawn is mostly made up of one enormous dynamic shape. Because it is elongated, it implies movement. We will get to the principle of movement in a later episode, but one way to illustrate movement is with organic lines and elongated shapes. The fact that the build is a dragon also helps convey the fact that it's most likely flying. All the things that I said about shape can also apply to forms, which are just 3D shapes. Some perfect examples of dynamic form come from the boat that Double Numb and Sonus made. The sails on the boat are very organic and look like they are being blown by the wind. Static form should be much more self-explanatory, seeing as most buildings in Minecraft are static and three-dimensional. The use of different varieties of lines and shapes can convey different information in each build. Want more clarification on the contents of this video? Head over to my channel at youtube.com/Wellstarbursts for many more creative Minecraft videos. A link is in the description. Special thanks to all the guys who are pictured here for contributing their builds, who include Razorcane, Sonus, Double Num, Gnarlos, Wyville, Spectre Cody, Brent, and Jomega. And remember, tune in next time for the episode on the element of color. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.